And, obviously it turned out to be an incredible career for me. If somebody had sat me down in front of a computer and said, I want you to type out the career that you want to have, I could not have come up with a better scenario. And, the ability to intervene in people's lives in a meaningful way, to make a difference, is a gift that's given to us by God. It doesn't make us better than anybody else, but it makes you more privileged than anybody else when you can intervene in a positive way in other people's lives. But, it wasn't... It wasn't a smooth road. When my parents got divorced when I was a little kid, that was devastating. We wound up living in dire poverty. My mother only had a third-grade education. But the interesting thing about my mother is she refused to be a victim. And as difficult as her life was, she never made excuses. And she never accepted excuses from us. She never felt sorry for herself. And I think that was a good thing. The problem is she didn't feel sorry for us either. So, she wouldn't accept an excuse. She would always say, do you have a brain? And if the answer to that was yes, then you could have thought your way out of it. And what a difference it makes in raising children without the excuse mentality. It means you have to actually find solutions. And, if we could find more government officials like that, imagine how much we could get done, rather than just sitting around blaming other people and blaming other situations about what's going on. And my mother was so thrifty. She could stretch a dollar further than anybody you could imagine. In fact, if my mother were Secretary of Treasury, we would not be in a deficit situation right now. But, somehow we've lost all that. But unfortunately for me, I was not a good student. I thought I was stupid. Everybody else thought I was stupid. I was the butt of all the jokes about stupid people. And it did bother me, but I never let anybody know. But I did admire the smart kids. I couldn't understand how they knew the answers. The teacher would ask a question, and they knew the answer. Always, their hand would go up. I say, how do they know all this stuff? They're the same age as I am. But, the kind of student that I was reminds me of many students that I encounter today. And even worse, many adults that I encounter today in this nation who know nothing. Once you scratch the surface of any topic, you start delving down, they know zero. They know zero about our country, about the history of our nation. And I'll tell you, I could sit here and listen to Bill Federer all night long. He knows so much stuff. It's just amazing. It's amazing. But the reason that is so problematic is because people who are ignorant are easy to fool. They're very easy to manipulate. And we are in a situation now where, there was a survey done some years ago looking at the ability of 8th grade equivalents to solve math and science problems in 22 nations. We were one of the 22 nations, and we came in number 21 out of 22. Now, that is absurd on any level. And when you think about the implications of it, we live in the information age, the technological age. When it was the agricultural age, it was no problem. We could outproduce anybody. We were known as the breadbasket of the world. During the industrial age, no one could compete with what we did. But now, the information age. And we're in a situation where 20 to 30% of people who enter high school in this country do not graduate. And that is a huge dividing line between the haves and the have-nots. And, people want to blame it on other stuff, but I'll tell you what, it's education. Education is what makes the difference in this nation. And we have got to emphasize that to people.